Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your models will practically build themselves. Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Welcome to the Kit Hoarder Stash, and today I've got one that I've been wanting to get for a while. It's out just very recently and I'm excited to look at it. Still in the shrink wrap, the Takom M103A1. Now Dragon's had one out in their black label for years, and it's been dogged a lot by folks, and rightly so, especially for the price. The price on this is not bad at all. Let's open it up and take a look at it. It's a big box. Very big box. Okay, let's see what we got here. Here is this side of the box. Looks like 4 different sets of markings that you can do for it. And here is the parts breakdown on this side. This was a heavy tank that was developed pretty much alongside the M48. Never really saw combat. Had a big 120 millimeter gun, but was very slow, underpowered. This is the A1 version, which is the V12 air-cooled gasoline engine that powered this. I think it had, what, 810 horse? So yeah, pretty big behemoth of a tank. It was really designed so it could carry this big old gun into the battlefield. So here's the decals. Let's open this up. There we go. And here's our decals. You can see quite a few different options there. And the instructions talks a little bit here about its history, which is kind of neat. And then your parts breakdown and working on the lower hull. Continue to work on the lower hull. Mating the upper hull to the lower hull. Looks like building the lights, the headlights. That's kind of neat. Look at all the parts just to build that. That's kind of neat. Upper hull. More work on the lower hull. Wow, there's a lot into this. More lower hull and suspension. Here we are putting the turret ring on, putting the wheels on, and then the tracks. These tracks appear to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 different parts just to assemble one link. That's yeah, I'm not sure that that's going to be what I want to do. Because, you know, I would rather have a root canal than sit for like 8 hours and just assemble tracks. I'll be honest with you. There's the stuff that goes on the fenders. I'm putting the fenders on. more parts that go on the hull. And finally here on step 15, we're going to start putting together that massive, looks like a alien brain for the turret. Putting all the parts on that, getting the cupola together, machine gun together. You can either use the metal barrel or a plastic barrel. Oh, all sorts of cool stuff on here. And then finally putting that on. And here are a bunch of different painting options, or decal options. Pretty much olive drab was the paint. Putting all the decals on. So there you go. Well, pretty comprehensive instructions. So here's the metal barrel, 120 millimeter. We have poly caps. And looks like we have some cable for the tow cable. It's a lot of plastic here. This is going to be a little bit of a project. Okay, so here's number one I like already is the turret. Here, the bottom of the turret has a cast texture to it, like it should, because the turret was a one-piece casting. Your gypsy rack, your mantlet, some other parts here. Molding's really, really good. Ooh. Yeah, the mantlet, you can't see the detail on there, but there's a lot of detail on that mantlet, including a cast texture and looks like some bolts. I mean, very well done. I like it. I like it already. So in case you need a spare 120 millimeter barrel for your parts box, here you've got the plastic 120 millimeter barrel. Loader's hatch, commander's cupola. Wow, little teeny tiny spring molded in plastic. That's neat. The Modus looks like it's several pieces. Looks to be pretty good. Pretty good. Huh, yeah, okay. That's Sprue L. Sprue F. Here we have the fenders. And the stiffeners, I think they're called. Again, the moldings are great. The Pioneer tools look superb. And just in case you were wondering, the underside has detail as well. Very nice. Wow. Very nice. And like I said, less money than the Dragon kit that came out. That Dragon Black Label was out for so long. The difference between the A1 and the A2, by the way, it has the same model number of an engine, except one letter is added to it, D for diesel. So it's a Continental V12 diesel engine in the A2, and it's a gasoline engine in the A1. The range on this thing, on the gas engine, was only 80 miles. It just sucked gas. On the A2, the diesel engine, the range was actually like 290 miles, which still isn't, really up to standard. As I recall, the standard, the military set like 300 miles range, is what they want out of their tanks. But anyway, I digress. Here we go back to, I could be wrong on that, but so there weren't as many A1s built. They went to the Army. The A2s went to the Marines. Yeah, well, A1s, a bunch of A1s went to the Marines, and they were upgraded to A2s. How's that? So, a bunch of little details. Your gas caps. I a bunch of hull details. And this is for your headlights, and that's really, really fine molded. Wow. Here's the details on that. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. I just saw something very neat. So apparently you've got a third barrel that comes with the dust cover on the mantlet. So it's got a second mantlet and a barrel. That's really cool. Engine deck. So far, I'm loving everything I'm seeing here. The quality of this kit looks fabulous. Now this is Sprue D, and there's two of these. I've got some sprockets here, some other just little parts, idler arms. There's detail on both sides of the sprocket. Huh. Yeah. Great, so there's two of those sprues. We're maybe halfway through. Well, this is not a weekend project, I can tell. This is going to be a while building this one, which is fine. Looks like the amount of detail. This is going to be a superb kit. Oh, looks like we have some wheels here. This is Sprue J, and we have the road wheels, parts of the sprocket. Very nice. There's two of those sprues. Two of these sprues. These are Sprue H. Oh, yeah, very nice. Very nice machine gun there. Huh. This is really cool. I'm really liking the looks of this thing. Oh, and then the tracks. I'm not going to take these out because I've got something else in mind. So, but to give you some idea of the horror that awaits you, there's two of these. Three of these, sorry, there's three of these in here, and there's a little jig that you can put your track pads in. Your guide teeth, and the other part of your tracks. That's a lot just to build tracks. Just so you guys know, the reason I'm not too worried about it is I picked up some AFV Club workables, which are a lot less parts, and they're still workable. So that's what's going to go on here, because I'm just not a fan of spending, like I said, 8 hours trying to build a length of track. Here we go. Periscopes, and other clear parts. Now for the last few parts, we've got the hull. Oh, the lower hull, beautiful cast texture to it. And the upper hull, beautiful cast texture to the hull. Good job, Takom. Yeah, this is a beauty. And then your alien brain turret with great cast texture, but there's casting marks. Don't know if you can see that right there by my finger. Sorry, the weld seams. I'm taken aback. The weld seams on this area here are just amazing. There's also casting numbers here that just look great. Wow. needless to say, I'm impressed, and that's difficult. Man, it'd be nice for me to be impressed by a car model, don't you think? Because they just don't come out with this kind of quality anymore, or ever. I don't know, but this, yeah, this looks like it's going to be an absolutely beautiful kit. A lot of plastic, and it's going to take some time to get it together. See how long it takes me to finally get around to building it. So thank you for joining us today, folks, and we will see you again very soon on The Stash.